In the welterweight division at UFC 288, this is your co-main event just added. Gilbert Burns, 22-5, takes on Belal, remember the name, Muhammad, who comes in at 22-3. And this is going to be a blockbuster fight, make no mistake about it. Muhammad 1 inch taller at 5'11". Both guys relatively the same aged. Muhammad's 34, Burns 36. Muhammad's got a 1 inch reach advantage. Both guys fight right-handed. Now, to some of the differences, Muhammad is a little bit more active than Burns, 4.5 significant strikes per minute compared to 3.4 for Burns. The takedown game is almost equal. Both guys get about 2 takedowns over the course of 3 rounds. Now, where things aren't equal is takedown defense. Burns 47%, not very good. Belal 92%, and that's a big stat right there in this fight. But Burns, since the Khamzat Chimaev loss in April of 2022, last year, he's beaten Neil Magny by submission, Jorge Masvidal decision. And you've seen this from a lot of guys that Khamzat has fought. You look at their record afterwards, like Gerald Meerschaert went 4-1 over the course of the next 5 fights. Burns is now 2-0 since the Khamzat fight. So that's something to keep an eye on. Is, you get in the octagon with Khamzat, and Gilbert Burns was in the octagon for a full 3 rounds. Had to make him a better fighter in that situation. Now, Belal Muhammad coming off the win over Sean Brady. It was a big one because Brady was rising. 2nd round KO. He beat Vicente Luque. And say what you want, Luque was off that night, didn't have his best night at the time. Vicente was a fighter that no one wanted to fight. I mean, he was on the rise. He also beat Stephen Thompson and Damian Maia. I mean, this guy is surging, and this might be one of the toughest predictions of the year. One of the few fights I started to look at before I pressed the record button, right? And I still can't make a decision, but I got to make one now. And I'm going to lean with Belal Muhammad in this fight. Even though I almost always go with guys that Khamzat Chimaev recently fought. I went with Kevin Holland against Ponzinibbio when a lot of people went the other way. I've gone with Gerald Meerschaert several times. I backed Burns in the last 2 fights. He hasn't let me down. But this time I'm going against Burns. I like Belal Muhammad. You look at the last 4 fights, Belal Muhammad is peaking right now in his career. He's still 34 years old. He'll turn the corner in the next 2 to 3 years, but that's not today. So I like Belal Muhammad potentially to get the finish, but likely win this thing by decision to move to 23-3. He'll do it on significant strikes, takedown defense. He'll keep this fight standing and outstrike Gilbert Burns. Again, to move to 23-3, in my opinion, welterweight division co-main event, UFC 288.